Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Devotions. Pastor Steve here, walking with you in God's Word, meditating upon God's Word with you, and we're in Psalm chapter 44. Psalm chapter 44 has an incredible roller coaster of emotions and of prayers and of proclamation. It just is so fitting towards our lives. Roller coasters of being able to remember and celebrate and be in joy of what God has done, but sitting in situations where it feels like he's distant, and sitting in circumstances where it just doesn't feel like he's near, feeling as though God has abandoned, feeling that God doesn't care, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. That's exactly what Psalm 44, it's this, as it says in the Superscription, as the title, it says, for the director of music of the sons of Korah. And so we get to see once again this liturgical worship move as we get to see that they're celebrating, they're worshiping, they're in joy, but also being real before the Lord, of saying, this is how we feel. This is what it feels like right now, that our enemies are gloating over us. Our oppression is real and we feel it. Wake up. Not just wake up and draw near, but wake up and just be who we know you to be. And that's why it's a beautiful thing. If we look into our past, if we look into the time of even ancestors and being able to see within scriptures as well of who our God is, it's just a call upon God's character, God's identity. But just be who you are. Just be who I know you to be. Not even just back then, because you're a constant God and you have unfailing love and you have grace that overflows. You have discipline that actually enacts the future. And so sometimes we're sitting in that discipline and it doesn't feel good, or it feels like he's far away. But he's using that for our benefit. And so looking to the God of the past, knowing who he is, looking to a God in the present, knowing that he never changes, and looking into the future, knowing that our God is going to be constant. Psalm chapter 44. Let's meditate together on it. We have heard with our ears, O God. Our fathers have told us what you did in their days, in days long ago. With your hand you drove out the nations and planted our fathers. You crushed the peoples and made our fathers flourish. It was not by their sword that they won the land, nor did their arm bring them victory. It was your right hand, your arm, and the light of your face, for you loved them. You are my King and my God, who decrees victories for Jacob. Through you we push back our enemies. Through your name we trample our foes. I do not trust in my bow. My sword does not bring me victory. But you give us victory over our enemies. You put our adversaries to shame. In God we make our boast all day long, and we will praise your name forever. Selah. A pause. An amazing look back into what God has done, who he is, but even now we feel like you have the most power. I don't trust in my bow. I don't trust in the things in my hands. I don't trust in the victories that I think I have accomplished. But rather, they've always been of you. And then there's a pause. And the pause brings some reflection as we head into verse 9, and a very big turn. Because now it's an overwhelmed feeling. Not necessarily eyes fixed on the victory of God, but rather what is happening in my life right now. But now, you have rejected and humbled us. You no longer go out with our armies. You made us retreat before the enemy, and our adversaries have plundered us. You gave us up to be devoured like sheep, and have scattered us among the nations. You sold your people for a pittance, gaining nothing from their sale. You have made us a reproach to our neighbors, and the scorn and derision of those around us. You have made us a byword among the nations. The people shake their heads at us. My disgrace is before me all day long, and my face is covered with shame. At the taunts of those who reproach and revile me, because of the enemy who is bent on revenge. All this happened to us, though we had not forgotten you or been false to your covenant. Our hearts had not turned back, our feet had not strayed from your path, but you crushed us and made us haunt for jackals. and covered us over with deep darkness. If we had forgotten the name of our God or spread out our hands to a foreign God, would not God have discovered it, since he knows the secrets of the heart? Yet for your sake, we face death all day long. We are considered as sheep to be slaughtered. Awake, O Lord. Why do you sleep? Rouse yourself. Do not reject us forever. Why do you hide your face and forget our misery and oppression? We are brought down to the dust. Our bodies cling to the ground. Rise up and help us. Redeem us because of your unfailing love. Rise up, awake. I'm in these dust and ashes, it feels like. And I know, and this is a beautiful thing, it seems like this kind of really bent, like anger and emotion, but really what they're just bringing forth here, what this psalm is really bringing forth, saying, I can't do anything for myself. It needs to be you. I know long ago with the fathers, it wasn't their bow, it wasn't their effort that brought them victory. It was your right hand, it was your arm. And so in the midst of what we feel like losing right now, we know there's one way. We know there's one God. We know that there's only a direction, that you need to wake, that you need to rise, that you need to do your work. And that's what we're banking upon. When we keep trying our own ways, it's just going to lead towards failure and derision. It's just going to bring limit when you are limitless. Awake, arise, rise up and help us. You're the one that's going to bring about what you need to bring about. And so we trust that. Even in the midst of what we're feeling or the circumstances we are, we look back to what you've done for our fathers. We look to the present, knowing that you are going to do your good work. Rise up and help us. You have unfailing love. You have grace that overwhelms. You are a constant God that's going to bring us to the place we need to be. And we're going to look forward, because you are a God that can do immeasurably more than what we can think or what we can ask. And so do your work. Rise up and help us. You are a God of unfailing love. So do your work. It's going to be that good work. And use us where you see fit. Thanks be to God.